Hello. This is going to be a love and relationship reading for Geminis that are in relationships. If you are a single Gemini, as in you're not necessarily involved with anyone right now, you may want to check out your singles reading on my channel. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of it. My daughter started school finally on Monday, and I'm still getting used to the fact that we wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning now. So I'm a little bit tired, but I'm still going to be able to do this. Oh, the animals. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 weeks. The last 2 weeks of August and the first 2 weeks of September. And eventually, someday, I'll get caught up. I have a new computer coming, and until then, I just have to make do with what I have. Actually, my computer got hacked, and I've got some viruses going on, so you may hear some weird noises from the computer. I've got somebody helping me with that tomorrow. Okay. Hope you guys are well. Don't mind the noise in the background. That's just my animals acting crazy. It sounds like the kitten's being tortured, but it's not. Okay. I'm going to pick your basic cards for each week out of the spiral deck, and then just for fun, I decided to use 2 extra decks for your clarifiers. I'm going to use the White Rabbit Lenormand and the Wisdom of the Oracle cards. Okay. So I'm just going to angle this down so you can see my hands. And the computer's been buffering so much that I think I'm just going to for the rest of the reading until the end. That way you don't have to watch my face morphing around. So this is for Gemini rising, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, for love and relationships. And this being, even if you just started dating someone that you're interested in, or you've been seeing someone for a few months, or even if you're downright married, or you've been with someone for a long time. And we'll just see what comes out. This one just popped out. You have the Ace of Wands, starting some kind of new venture or adventure. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can see this okay. Move it back a little bit. And if anyone is on chat, I can't see the chat right now because there's a warning, threat detected, something, something, something in the way. Technology is so strange. Okay. 4 weeks. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be time stamping the weeks down below in the description box after I'm done. And so you'll be able to skip ahead or skip back to whichever week you would like to. Just makes it easier that way. Even though these are coming out longer than they used to be, it's because things are broken up in weeks, and really each week is maybe tops 10 minutes each. I doubt it, even that. So, okay, let's see what these are. Okay. I'm just going to show you your cards head on so you can actually see them. You have the 7 of Wands. Yep, told you. There's like weird notifications popping up. It's either I do these or don't do them at all. You'll all have to just bear with it until I get my new computer, or until this one gets a free antivirus. Okay, the Moon, Major Arcana. It's the only Major Arcana you have in here. And you have the Eight of Pentacles. Hopefully you can see these okay. The Queen of Swords. The Ace of Cups. Nice. The Ace of Pentacles. The Five of Swords. And the Two of Wands. Okay. Go week by week. Ozzy, no. Leave the kitten alone, buddy. Hey. There's no use. Okay. So this is going to be for the third week of August, which we're already into. And this is usually the signifier to you on whether or not this reading will resonate. Is because part of it has already happened. If this part resonates, then the rest of it very well may be. And of course, just with any collective reading, this may or may not resonate for you. You'll know. Okay, what does this Seven of Wands have to do with? And the Ace of Cups. Whoa. Nice. Okay, and let me pick some from these two. It's a good thing that reading intuitively using a tool is usually a right-brained process, so I don't necessarily need my left brain to be working right now, which is really good because I definitely am tired or just getting used to the new schedule. Okay, what does that have to do with? Guys, really? Okay. I'm going to try to make sense out of this for you. Let me move you closer. Okay. So, first, for the third week of August, to me, this looks like defending love or feeling defensive about a new beginning that needs to be protected. For some of you, this may be a new love or a new relationship that you have entered into, and so you're feeling very protective of this love for some reason. Maybe some of your friends don't approve of the person you're with, or maybe you just don't feel like hearing people's opinions about things in your relationship, or you're feeling very protective of some kind of a new, beautiful beginning in the relationship. Sometimes the Ace of Cups can be a child coming into the picture. Sometimes this can be just wanting to protect or defend the sensitivity and soft parts of the relationship. Maybe you feel for some reason that this relationship is threatened, or you don't want anybody coming in to meddle somehow. So let's look at the Seven of Wands here. This definitely looks like a position of defense to me, although the person does have higher ground because the wands are lower than him. With it, you have clean it up. I don't know, maybe some of you are arguing with your partner a little bit because they're extremely messy and you find that you have to clean up after them all the time. Maybe you're sick of this, and so it's time to lay it down with your partner that you need their help with cleaning up. If this is a family situation, this may be just in general wanting to show to your partner or children, if they're involved, that you need help cleaning things up, or you shouldn't be the one to always clean things up. This could also be flipped too. Your partner may feel this way as well. Or there's something in the relationship that needs to be cleaned up, as in perhaps in the past, you guys have gotten a little bit too defensive with one another, and you need to clean up this defensive energy so that you can fully enjoy the love in the relationship and the innocence and softness in the relationship. Or maybe some of you guys are having a baby, in which case you're nesting and you want things to be cleaned up. Certain habits in the relationship need to be cleaned up in order to make space for a new beginning of some kind. So with these two, you have the dog, which is loyalty and friendship. Maybe you want to they feel as if they're an old soul that where you guys have been very close friends for a long time. If you don't feel as though the friendship in your relationship is being cultivated enough, or you have a relationship and are very much in love, but something about it, you don't really feel as though you can confide in them in about everything that you think or feel, or there is either friendship there in the relationship or there's a lack of friendship in the relationship. And so you want to cultivate this more, as well as loyalty goes too. Or just loyalty can be looked at in so many different ways, but basically it's being on the same team as one another and supporting each other. And also to be tolerant and patient about those stressful moments where you want to snap, or you want to get defensive, or you to clean that energy up so that you can be open. So this is odd. With these came the coffin, which is an ending of some kind. I'm hoping that this is an ending of the defensive attitude in the relationship, which seems to me as though presently you're very strong about cleaning this energy up or straightening things up where this can pass away and does not continue. But let me see if there's another message in this. What is ending? With it, you got flexible. So I'm seeing that for a lot of you that this reading is resonating for, things have gotten a little too inflexible or stiff, or a little too set in reactions. Let's put it that way. Like things have gotten into too much of a loop or a groove that goes over and over. A feeling of defense, or a feeling of not accepting or not being flexible enough. This could be you or your partner or both of you. But it does look as though work is being done on it. And it's because you probably feel as though your partner is your best friend. So you want to cultivate this relationship, or you want to cultivate flexibility more, where you're able to freely move. And something about the inflexibility and the defensive attitude is ending, I'm hoping, with this coffin in here. Either that, or it may be the undoing of the relationship, but I am not really reading it that way because of what's on the bottom. There's so many bubbles of words. It's going to be blanking a whole bunch. Or bleeping, rather. Oh, look, there's people on there. Hi! Gypsy Rose. Thank you. Ghost Horse. G-Horse. Hi! Hopefully this is resonating for you guys. Okay, let's try this again now that I can see the screen. And luckily for me, there's no notification weird noises going off. Okay, so let's look at the bottom. And don't forget, this is this week, as I'm filming this anyway. So on the bottom, you have the Ace of Cups. You have milk and honey. and you have the moon. And so I really am getting that for you Geminis, you're feeling very soft this week. You really want to focus on the things that truly matter to you in life in general. Feelings of comfort, pleasure, sweetness, nourishment, especially emotional nourishment in here with the moon. Trusting your instincts, trusting your feelings, opening up about your sweet feelings. I'm getting an exchange of sweet feelings here. Or feeling like you can trust this relationship enough to really open up your heart and show all of your sweetness to your partner or the person that you've been seeing. And it is really important for you. Maybe a lot of you Geminis have planets in Cancer. I know that the inner planets are never usually very far from the sun. They're either the sign behind it, the same sign, or the sign after it. So I'm guessing for a number of you Geminis watching this, you probably have planets in Cancer. Maybe Venus or Mars or something like that. So I am getting, you do feel comfortable enough in this relationship and you see enough progress and cleaning up happening with it where you're able to show your soft bits to your partner and be able to open up about your feelings. Either that or this is your partner exposing their heart to you, which is a really profound, intense thing. But it looks lovely. Maybe you're going on some kind of trip, or you're going for a walk in the woods and having a picnic, or you're spending more time with each other, focusing on the sweet things in the relationship, or this is what you long for. And in order to have this, if you feel as though you don't have this, then you need to clean up this energy right here. And he does look locked in by these wands where he's on a position of defense, and so he's not completely flexible to leap around or do other things because he has to focus on these wands in front of him. Maybe he'd rather be doing something else than this. And something about this position needs to come to an end so that you can be more flexible and focus on the loyalty and friendship in your relationship. Or to feel as though this is something that can be flexible and stay. Okay, so that's the third week of August. Let's look at the last week of August. This is interesting. Let's see what comes out for these. And there's another moon card too. Nice. Okay, I want to know more about this. Maybe for some of you, you literally do need to clean up your environment. As in clean up your home or get rid of clutter. And if you do that, you'll see a huge shift happen for the better. Okay, we're down. I'm getting the word downsizing. Let's see what this is. Let me pick one more for that. From here. Yeah. All right. You Geminis are so funny. Okay. Nice. I get it. Maybe some of you, your partner has been questioning your loyalty to the relationship because you need a certain amount of freedom to be able to move around. But it looks as if you guys can work it out. Okay, so here we go. Sorry, I need to take a sip of tea. Okay. So for the last week of August, you have the Moon, Major Arcana, over the Ace of Pentacles. It definitely seems as though you have some kind of a rebirth in the relationship or a new relationship that is blossoming or budding right now. Or a new beginning in the relationship where there's a newfound sense of renewed purpose in the relationship, not just a renewal of love, but a renewal of purpose in the relationship where you're on the same page with what you want or what you want to create together. But at the same time, there's some insecurities here, or some niggling gut feelings that you're trying to figure out on why you feel this way. Some of you are afraid of being trapped. Some of you need a certain amount of freedom in a relationship in order to feel you want the relationship and the closeness or the loyalty, but you also need a certain amount of freedom and flexibility in a relationship. Or this could be your partner. Either you or your partner may be feeling a little bit insecure about this, where they understand it or you understand it, but at the same time, it seems like it's an internal subconscious feeling of fear of entrapment rather than something that actually exists in the relationship. Maybe in the past, there's been a little bit of defensiveness in the relationship when you guys have tried to talk about certain things, and that may have brought up some subconscious fears or warning bells for you where I'm getting this feeling of your throat sank down to your belly, or it sank down to your belly where you had a feeling of fearful dread of, oh no, maybe this isn't what I thought it was. But I'm getting that feeling is coming from within you and almost has nothing to do with this relationship or this person. Or this could be going on for your partner. So the reason why I'm saying all this is because with the Moon, which is the insecurities, I'm reading it that way this time around because of the clarifiers. Deep subconscious emotions coming up to the surface, insecurities or fears or confusion. With this, you have, hopefully you can see this okay, it's a fortune cookie with fortune coming out that says, not for you. And I wanted to know what isn't for you. And I got the anchor. And with the anchor, I got between worlds. And so I see you as being confused because one part of you wants a sense of stability. Another part of you wants to be free. And so you're trying to reconcile these two things. Why can't you have both in a relationship? You shouldn't be looking at relationships as you have to sacrifice your freedom for a relationship in order for it to be solid, or that a solid relationship has to be entrapment. Or this could be going on for your partner, I suppose. But you're in between the worlds with this. It's kind of, you want the new, you want to see where things go, you want new life to be breathed into relationships for you. But at the same time, you're afraid of being trapped. Maybe some of you had a prominent female in your life, in your childhood or in your family, like a grandmother, a mother, an aunt, something. Doesn't even really have to be a woman, but it is the Moon after all. Whoever was your nurturer when you were growing up, maybe they got into codependent relationships where their life was all about their relationship. Or you had a primary nurturer growing up that was highly insecure and jealous in relationships, or was fearful of the loss of relationships, or possibly was abandoned. And something about that brings up stuff for you that's very subconscious that you need to work through, because I'm getting not all of this is really coming from the relationship at all. This is something that you have to work through if you want this relationship. But it does seem to me as though you're working on it, or you're trying to make sense out of it. But if some of you are in a relationship where the person is highly traditional, or they want you to take care of them all the time, or they want a more traditional setup, that may not be for you. So you may be in between the worlds about this relationship on whether this is actually possible or not. This is only for some of you. If you feel trapped, or if the person doesn't see relationships the way that you do, I can see why you guys may have had problems in the past with being defensive. Down on the bottom, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Co-create. I'm getting that a lot of you are involved with someone that is very different from you. If you notice in this, it's an owl and a cheetah that have created an egg together, and this is the co-create card. With it, you have the heart. So especially with that Ace of Cups earlier and the milk and honey card, I am getting there are very deep feelings here, or you truly do love each other. There is a lot of love there. You love this person a great deal. And so you shouldn't let these insecurities of feeling torn or being in between the worlds, wondering if this is for you or not. Instead, focus on creating. Instead of getting wrapped up with fear of bondage or a fear of entrapment with relationships, instead look at the person for who they actually really are. Look at yourself for who you actually really are, and realize it's really up to the two of you. You are co-creators, after all, of this relationship. You may be very different from each other, and there may need to be some adjustments or some flexibility needed in the relationship in order to see different ways of seeing it, or different perspectives on what is actually happening here. But there's a lot of love here. You do have a great potential for this relationship to last if it's a new one. If you've been in this relationship for a while, it looks like there's a very good chance that you guys can create something tangible out of your love or inspiration. This can even be creating a family. After all, this cheetah and owl created an egg, and there is a little girl in the heart card. And the Ace of Pentacles can sometimes be seen as pregnancy or the egg. So some of you may be choosing to have a baby. If that's the case, or if you have suddenly realized you're having a baby, you may be having some insecurities about this, on whether or not your partner will stay, whether or not you'll be able to handle being a parent, whether fear of entrapment, feeling between the worlds about it. But really, what I'm getting for you, just in general with any of these scenarios, is that concerning a new beginning, take it one step at a time and stay practical about it. And don't lose sight of your love or your inspiration. You can work with your partner on whatever you need to work together on. You may have totally different ways of seeing things or being, but it is doable for you guys to work together out of the sake of your love or your relationship. Some of you may even be co-creating a new home, or cultivating some land together, or just doing something exciting, I'm getting. Okay, so let's look at the first week of September. And let me pick some clarifiers. Hopefully this is resonating. I guess lots of people wrote on here in the beginning, but everybody's disappeared. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. The noise in the background is my dog chewing on his bone, just so you know. If you can even hear it. Oh, are some of you battling with fear of commitment, or your partner is? Or you've chosen to belong to each other or commit to something, or whatever form this relationship takes. Okay, let me see. Oh, here comes my cat. Yes, you're a good, cute little boy, but you need to get off the table, buddy. Okay, I just want to know more about this one. Interesting. Okay. So, hey, for the first week of September, you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is considered a work card, over the Five of Swords, which can be fighting, arguments, but the nasty kind, where you say nasty things to each other. It's a mean card. Maybe there have been some arguments in the past, or there's something difficult going on at home. It could be with other factors too, maybe just not the relationship, but we'll get into it. But it seems as though you truly want to work on this, or the two of you want to work on this together from this work card up above. It could be that some work-related things are taking energy away from the relationship, and this has caused some arguments. But let's look at the clarifiers. Or you're determined to work on not allowing negative patterns to continue and to transmute it in one way or another. So let's look, before we get to the top, let's look at the bottom. So with this Five of Swords, there's no place like home. Could it be that the two of you have been arguing about what you call home? Maybe you live in separate places. Maybe you live together. Maybe there's something going on that you feel is unfair about the home. This can take many different forms. It doesn't even necessarily have to be between the two of you. This could be something like, you and your partner are renting a spot from a landlord, and they suddenly announce that you have to be out within a month because they want to sell the house. And so that's creating some stress in the relationship on what is home. Or does your partner feel like home to you? Are you really compatible enough to feel like home to each other? Or perhaps you've been spending too much time at home and you guys need to get out more. And because it's like a reaction from cat fever. If you've been in your house too much, or where you live too much, or let's say you both work and the only time you really see each other anymore is in the evening after work, or in the morning before you go to work. And there's maybe a few days off a week that you get to actually spend together. And maybe because one of you is working so much, those are the days when you have to do your laundry and all of the practical things, check your mailbox, all that stuff. Something about this is causing stress and irritability in the relationship and needs to be adjusted. Whatever this is, this is your remedy for that. You have yin. Hopefully you can see these okay. You have yin and you have the garden. Maybe something about your house needs to be straightened out, or you need to just get rid of a whole bunch of things and make some space. But what I'm getting is you need to create some kind of an outdoor sanctuary, whether it's a garden or a little altar out in your yard, or even to simply enjoy beautiful places outside together, whether it's botanical gardens, public gardens, arboretums, plant museums, where you can soak up some of that yin energy. Yin energy, or the divine feminine, receptive, cool, calm, and sensitive energy, is a perfect antidote to this Five of Swords here. Five of Swords, if you look, he looks very twisted yang, or he's been using his yang energy a little bit too much. And so you really do need peace, or a peaceful place. If it's in the home, you might want to create a special place in the home that's just to relax, where there's pretty flowers. You only have beautiful objects in that one area of the house where you can go and recoup. Mainly getting outdoor activities here. And the garden card can also be social events like festivals, get-togethers, potlucks, social events. When you guys go out, you definitely want to do things that revolve around beauty, softness, serenity, things that make you feel healed and replenished. And that can significantly help in the relationship. Maybe that's difficult for some of you because you have a partner possibly that gets jealous easily, and that might be one of the reasons on why you're on the fence a little bit about this. Your partner might have either, I'm not getting that this is you, but it could be for some of you, that they're a little too locked in on their ideas on what loyalty is, and they may be a little bit controlling at times, which I can see why this would bring up insecurities or fears about freedom. Is you still need to do your Gemini thing. You still need to go out and meet people, talk with people, trade stories with people, enjoy fun festivities. But you also want your home to be a beautiful place too. You want your home to feel serene. You want your home to feel cleaned up, beautiful, serene. There's something about this that's been getting in the way. So let's look at the top. You've got the Eight of Swords, which is working on breathing. Breathe. Relax. When things get stressful, when things get irritable, first of all, a lot of times it's important to be flexible in the way. Come on, you guys, really? Ozzy, no. Ozzy. I got something about flexible earlier too. So in order to be flexible, you need to be flexible in your body, your mind, your emotions. And part of flexibility is breathing and relaxing the muscles in your body. So when things start to get stressful or what's that word? Confrontative? No. Defensive? Inflexible? How you work on this and how you transmute this is by breathing, relaxing, letting it go, not holding on to it, not overthinking. Also, work can help you to relax, but you also may need to relax from work. Maybe you've been working too much, and you need to still be able to go out to beautiful things like botanical gardens and be able to breathe in the good oxygen from all of the trees. Something. So let's look at what's with the breathe card. There's the ring, which is commitment. So for some of you, you may have a partner that wants to commit further in a way that perhaps you're not familiar with or you're unsettled by a little bit. Think about your connection. If your connection with this person is worth it, then breathe your way through this, and the answers will come to you on what needs to be worked on or what needs to be adjusted. I'm getting a big thing in this reading about adjustments or adjusting. It could be that you get proposed to, even with the ring, or you're thinking about commitment, or you're thinking about, do I want this? If you want this, maybe your partner is going through some jitters about all of this. It may be that you both need to make some adjustments on what is the best way to be comfortable with this, whatever form of commitment is good for the two of you. But also to breathe through it. You are not trapped. You are not trapped. It's not going to trap you. So let's look at the second week of September. This looks interesting. Okay, well, actually, let me look at them from here. Oh. It may be that some of you need to make a decision. Okay. Here, let me adjust myself. Okay. Let's see. Whoa. Maybe some of you are concerned about whether or not this person is loyal to you. Let me see if I can pick a remedy for this one. Okay. I want to know more about that. Okay, cool. That solved that problem. All right. I just had to pick a million clarifiers. So here we go. For the second week of September, you have the Queen of Swords over the Two of Wands. So this to me looks like you need to make a decision on which way to go or what action to take next. You may be thinking about traveling possibly, or switching up what you are doing or how you're doing things or what to do next. But it looks as though you're finding clarity and you're really honing in on how to see things clearly and make decisions based off of what you see. Or any messages. There may be messages headed your way that cause you to realize you need to make a decision on what step to take next or what to do next. Okay, so let's break this up. On the top, you have the Queen of Swords with message in a bottle. And the bottle has a stork on it. No, that might not be a stork. That might be a crane or something. Anyway, messages, definite messages. This may be an unexpected message that you didn't see coming. This could be a serendipitous message that comes out of nowhere that you weren't expecting. That gives you some kind of secret information or information that is important. This can all, because it's in a bottle, this is reminding me of being overseas or traveling by water or going to the ocean. Going to the ocean gives you clarity about something, or maybe some kind of a trip or a vacation. With this, you have the snake, which I'm reading in a good light right now because of the clarifiers that came with it, which is the sun, happiness, and Treasure Island, which is reminding me of the message in the bottle here. Look, they're both on the ocean. I'm getting some kind of a trip where you're able to actually really get intimate with each other in a new way or in a powerful way, as in sexuality, you guys. You might be having almost transcendental sex, or something about the sexuality of the relationship has opened up and become more adventurous or more deep. Deep emotions are involved in this. If I didn't look at the snake as sexuality, I would look at it as most definitely transformation, transmutation, using your Kundalini energy to clear out any garbage. It kind of reminds me of the goddess Kali, Kali Ma, that destroys all illusions or falseness and only reveals the truth. So I'm getting really good feelings about this. It seems as though a change in how you think, or a change in how you see things, or a change in how you communicate in the relationship is bringing about some really fun stuff that makes you feel really happy. Down below it, you have the Two of Wands, and you have come to the edge. So you've come to the edge of an old way, and you no longer can do this old way anymore. You need to strike out and form a new way, or a new way of seeing things, doing things, understanding things. More is available to you than you realize. You may be feeling unnecessarily limited, or like if you make the wrong decision, you're going to fall, but you're not going to fall. But yeah, this is just something you've got to go through. With it, with come to the edge, you have the clouds. So there's, again, a lot of confusion, uncertainty. You're kind of blowing both of these cards. If you look, there's the woman on top of the little floating island, and she's come to the edge. She's scattering hearts to the wind. And it's very similar to the girl in the clouds. It's dark in the clouds, but she's holding a helium balloon, and it's helping her to float through the clouds. So there is no way of knowing exactly what will happen. But I'm getting you have to take some kind of a risk. You just have to, because you can no longer be where you have been. What with those is the man. This does not have to be a man, but it probably is, or a masculine person. Something about this relationship or this man has made you realize you have to take some kind of a risk. Let me see. Or they want you to take a risk, or you want them to take a risk. Let me see if I can pull another fire to go with it. My cat is being really obnoxious right now. Okay, let me show you first. What's going on with this man? Yeah. To the sea. You're being led away. You need to go on some kind of vacation or trip, or go to the ocean, or have release. Release, let go, let the waters take you to where you need to go. She has her binoculars and her little compass pointer. She has everything that she needs. There is no way of knowing exactly what will happen, but you need to release control and you need to let things flow. Instead of worrying so much about the outcome of all of this, because there is no way of knowing what the outcome will be, just know that you're supposed to do this. And because you're supposed to do this, you will have good luck if you take risks. This may have something to do with moving, possibly. Letting go and releasing. Okay. Hopefully that helped or made sense. Take care, you guys. I wish you all the best. I love you. How do I